Ever scrolled through your feed and noticed some profiles without a single personal photo? Just a default avatar, a picture of a pet, or maybe a scenic landscape. It's easy to assume they're just inactive or super private, but the real reasons are often much deeper and more fascinating. What's going on in the minds of people who choose to stay visually anonymous online? Let's dive into the complex psychology behind it. First and foremost, let's talk about the big one: privacy and security. For many, this isn't just a vague concern, it's a calculated decision. In a world where our faces are becoming a form of data, some people are consciously choosing to opt out. They're highly aware that their images can be scraped, fed into facial recognition databases, and stored on servers forever. By not posting their photo, they're taking back control of their own biometric information. Think about it. It's like refusing to hand over your digital fingerprint. Beyond data control, there are real-world safety concerns. The internet, for all its wonders, can be a risky place. Concerns about online stalking, harassment, or the terrifying practice of doxing, where your private information is maliciously published online, are very real. For these individuals, not having a personal photo acts as a crucial layer of protection. It makes them a much harder target and helps them maintain a sense of security in their digital and physical lives. It's a simple but effective way to build a digital fortress around their personal space. Then there's the professional angle. Many people want to maintain a strict wall between their personal and professional identities. They understand that a future employer, a current boss, or even a client might stumble upon their profile. A single photo from a party or a casual vacation could lead to unfair judgments or biases. By keeping their face off their profile, they ensure that they are judged on their skills, their work, and their professional conduct, not on their appearance or what they do in their free time. It's a strategic move to manage their professional reputation in a world where the lines between personal and public are increasingly blurred. But it's not always about external threats. Sometimes the reason is a reflection of a person's inner world, particularly for introverts or those who experience social anxiety. Let's be honest, social media can feel like a constant performance, and for some, the pressure is just too much. These individuals often have a low need for external validation. They derive their sense of self-worth from their internal values, their close offline relationships, or their personal achievements. They don't need a flood of likes and comments to feel good about themselves. Their confidence is For someone with social anxiety, the simple act of posting a photo can be incredibly stressful. The internal monologue can be relentless. Is this photo good enough? What will people think of how I look? What if no one likes it? This fear of judgment can be the potential for a post to get little engagement might feel like a public social rejection. So, to avoid that anxiety altogether, they simply choose not to participate in that part of the social media game. It's a form of self-preservation. Furthermore, many of these individuals crave deep, authentic connections, and they feel that much of social media is superficial. They see the endless scroll of curated selfies and perfect moments as a performance, not a reality. They believe that true connection happens in more private, meaningful ways through direct messages, long conversations, or, most importantly, in person. For them, a profile picture doesn't build a bond. Shared thoughts and experiences do. They'd rather have one genuine conversation than 100 surface-level interactions on a photo. This leads us to the powerful desire to control one's own narrative. When you post a photo, you're handing over a piece of your identity for others to interpret, and sometimes misinterpret. People who abstain from this are often rejecting the pressure to create and maintain a specific personal brand. They don't want to be the travel guy, the fitness girl, or the cool parent. They just want to be themselves, without the constant need to perform that identity for an audience. By not providing visual content, they feel they have more control over how they are perceived. The fear of misinterpretation is a huge factor here. A photo is a single moment frozen in time, completely devoid of context. A silly face could be seen as unprofessional. A serious expression could be labeled as unfriendly. By withholding images, they prevent others from creating a story about them based on a single snapshot. They want their words, their ideas, and their actions to define them, not a picture that can be taken out of context and used to build a false narrative. Of course, we also have to acknowledge the role of body image. In a culture that places immense value on physical appearance, social media can be a minefield of comparison and insecurity. For some, avoiding photos is a direct strategy to cope with body dysmorphia or general insecurities about their appearance. It's a way to step off the hamster wheel of comparison and disconnect their self-worth from their physical looks. By doing so, they can engage online without the constant, nagging pressure to look a certain way. Then there's a group that makes a very conscious, philosophical choice. They value substance over style. These individuals want to be known for what's in their head, not for what their head looks like. They want their humor, their insights, their writing, or their shared interests to be the reason people follow them. This mindset is especially common in niche forums, intellectual communities, and professional networks where the currency is knowledge and ideas, not aesthetics. It's a deliberate choice to prioritize intellectual connection over visual appeal. This is often tied to a broader rejection of modern visual culture. They may consciously push back against the perceived shallowness of mainstream social media, which can often feel like an endless beauty pageant. They find the obsession with appearances to Instagram culture to be unfulfilling and even toxic. By choosing to participate on their own terms, without a profile picture, they are making a statement. They are saying, "My thoughts are more important than my face," and are actively cultivating a space where that is the norm. Finally, sometimes the explanation is far less complex. For some people, it's just not a priority. They might use social media as a simple utility tool to get news, follow a hobby, or stay in touch with a specific group. The whole process of taking a good photo, editing it, thinking of a caption, and posting it just seems like an unnecessary chore. They have other things they'd rather be doing with their time and energy, and curating an online image simply doesn't make the list. These individuals often have a consumer or lurker mindset. They are perfectly content to observe, read, and consume the content that others produce without feeling any pressure to contribute visually themselves. They enjoy being part of the digital world as a spectator rather than a performer. It's not about fear or a deep philosophical stance. It's simply a matter of preference and disinterest. So, the next time you see a profile without a picture, remember that there's likely a complex story behind that gray avatar. It could be a strategic move for privacy, a way of managing anxiety, a stand for authenticity, or simply a sign that their priorities lie elsewhere. It's a powerful reminder that we all navigate the digital world differently, and there's no single right way to do it. What are your thoughts on this? Do you post photos of yourself, or do you prefer to keep your image private? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching. See you next time.